Okay, mics are live, and we're going to cameras. Hey! Welcome
Well, hello.
welcome to Seriously Podcast, a podcast that is a conversation between friends and between all of America. That includes all of you guys. Today, as you can see, Scott isn't here. He's being played by a much more beautiful person named Nick, is a good friend of mine. This is our first episode with a guest host or a guest of any kind, and we're gonna see what happens. Today I'm drinking Outburst Imperial Ale by Pyramid.
Right now, I've got Montucky Cold Snack, the unofficial official beer of Montana.
Can we make that the unofficial official beer of Seriously Cast, because we don't drink that here ever. It'd probably be PBR would be the unofficial official beer.
See, it depends on how cheap you want to get, because this is like $1.50 for a 16-ounce.
Jesus. I think with the bottle deposit, I pay $8 at 7-Eleven for 6 of these. So that's probably better, but I don't have many options because I don't have a car right now.
That's true.
Okay, anything you want to put in before we run the intro?
The Marine Corps, they're awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4. United States Marine Corps. Was that?
Hoorah.
Hoorah! Cheers. Clank. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Another intro in the books. Okay, what do we want to start with?
Man, there's a lot of stuff. It's just whack, some of it.
Okay, let's go with something interesting. I want to save the less depressing stuff for the end, so we'll talk video games at the end of the show if we have time. So I wanted to start with this: Capitol versus Capitol. Let's bring that up on the screen. So a lot of people, like, because of the storming of the Capitol, there was a lot of people that don't know the difference between the words. So capital can be a noun or an adjective. Capital can refer to the uppercase letters, accumulated wealth, or the city that serves as the seat of the counties or state's government. But then we have Capitol. It should be down here. Capitol. Let's see. A capital is a building in which a legislature operates. In the United States, the Capitol is a building in Washington, D.C., where the United States Congress meets. Some countries like Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia also have capitals. Other countries like Norway, Canada, and Kenya call their legislative buildings parliaments.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. Capitol versus Capitol. Capitol.
Very important things to know the difference between.
So the Capitol is the building. The Capitol is the place. The more you know. Okay. We got the little star thing that comes through. We should totally put that on as a thing. I'll make that a thing.
Beauty.
Okay, let's talk about this. Let's watch the trailer and we can talk about Run, Hide, Fight.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll run the trailer really quick.
In between breath, take the shot.
You're doing really good out there, kid. The size of that deer, we're gonna be eating venison all summer.
On a day's work.
I think we need to see somebody again.
And by we, you mean me?
No, I mean us. Hey, put that look in your eye. Guys in my unit had that look.
Maybe there's a brochure you can hand me so I can go?
We don't have to keep watching all of this.
Angelic over there?
I'll actually mute it a little bit. So
I watched the weirdest thing. Those 3 little reviews right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else we're going to talk about too with this that it just kind of goes against the grain of that.
Do you want me to go back and pull them up? I can pull them up.
Yeah.
Here.
Too funny. Like,
there's a slick and compulsively watchable. An immense sensation-based work. Incredibly intense. Those are all very apt descriptions of this movie.
I think so, yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it in kind of a sadistic way because it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch.
I agree. It was pretty difficult to watch. It kind of gives you that, man, it almost felt like you were there.
Yeah. But the one thing I can't understand is they have in the movie. Hold on, before we even start, spoilers coming up. So if you want to watch the movie, if you want to watch the movie, skip ahead until we're done talking about this, or if you don't care, whatever.
Or la, do that for a little
Stick
bit.
your fingers in your ears. But the one thing I can't understand is, it seems like everybody in this school is deaf. Because you have all these bullets going off in the cafeteria, and the people are still in class, and they're like, oh, nothing's going on here. And it seems like such a small rural town that most of them probably know what a gunshot sounds like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I live out in a rural area, and we heard duck hunters, and the police range is just like right up the road, not too far, so we hear it all the time. If that were to go off, you'd hear it for, I don't know, miles. Even if it was inside a building, you'd hear it a pretty decent clip away.
Mm-hmm. And also, shooting a gun, like some of those guns being shot in that small of an area, you're hearing, like you're ringing in your ears, like for like minutes, if not hours.
So one of the most common things that service members actually suffer from is damaged hearing and what's called tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.
You get that ringing in your ears all the time. I mean, Archer made it famous with his old mop thing. But yeah, these guys would all be going deaf. They'd be yelling at each other. They wouldn't be talking to each other.
I think it did a really good job of like showing how I'm gonna play that again. Showing how a like school shooting scenario might go down in the current climate, in the current technological era, with live streaming and whatnot.
Well, yeah, especially when you have these people that are, you know, like he said, he wanted to be the best.
Yeah, he wanted to be famous, and then her line where she's like, "You're not going to be remembered. I'll be remembered." That was badass. And this wasn't believable. Like, this wasn't like a shoehorned like female protagonist. She was a believable character that had the skills, and she wasn't a Mary Sue. Like, from the very beginning of the movie, they show she has those skills by going out and hunting with her dad and then killing the buck with like a rock or whatever. And so they've already, with just 1-2 minute scene, they made her not a Mary Sue. And I got to silence this. All right. Yeah. So
on that as well, she's not only shown to have these skills from the beginning, but she's got mentors that are well established, like her dad, and also she has that mentor of her mom that we're watching throughout the whole thing.
That one line in the like with the fat kid, the one with the shotgun, he's like, "You hear voices too?" She's talking to her mom, and he's still like half passed out, half awake, and then his redemption arc was actually kind of awesome though. I liked that.
Yeah.
But his ultimate demise was kind of depressing.
Yeah, but I kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah, it was. Oh, that scene right there in the in the lunchroom was in the kitchen was depressing. I killed your thing.
Yeah, it was super tense. Yeah, I killed your thing.
And like, the only reason that I knew about this was I saw a trailer for it as a YouTube ad, and normally I skip that kind of stuff, but I saw the Daily Wire plastered on it. I'm like, wait, what? The Daily Wire is doing movies? And so I watched the trailer, and I'm like, holy crap, this actually looks really good. And it was a decent film. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like a Hollywood blockbuster movie with like Tom Cruise. It was very well done on probably a modest budget.
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty damn good job, honestly. There's, of course, a few things that you would change here and there, but for a first go, I think the Daily Wire kind of did a good job.
Yeah, this is their first foray into movies, and they're also branching off into television as well. And so, like, good on them. This is good. I almost needed to buy. I almost bought myself a Daily Wire subscription just so I could watch that movie. But in the end, I didn't need it because they just streamed it live on YouTube, and so I got to watch it there.
Yeah.
That's
I thought they did great.
That's what we're going with. I watched it live on their YouTube stream.
Yeah, me too.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, let's talk about the Rotten Tomatoes score on this thing. So,
oh man, when I saw this,
let's pull that up. The audience score 98%. The critics score is 14%, but this is based off of 368 user ratings and then 7 reviews. So it's not a good like balance there.
And see, I didn't go into the reviews and like read anything that the critics said or anything, but I'm sure they have just nothing good to say about the Daily Wire or anything like that.
Here we go. So somebody somewhere one day had a thought. What if Die Hard except a school shooting? And not only didn't they immediately check themselves for other symptoms of lead poisoning, but thought, yep, that's a winner.
Yeah, sure. Die Hard meets like High School Musical. That sounds fun.
Why not? Actually,
Yeah.
When I was in high school, this is like right after Columbine, like maybe 4 or 5 years after. I had ideas, and I had like a treatment that I wrote up for like a movie about a school shooting. Like, they stole my idea.
I mean, if we want to get down to it, when stuff like this happens, you got to talk about it. Otherwise, it's going to end up. It's like that whole situation where history just repeats itself almost immediately. And you had all these copycats so fast. People were not downplaying it as this bad thing that's happening. They were saying, well, this is what's happening, and it's video games, and it's violent music, and blah, blah, blah.
Even in the movie.
And this goes into the serious part about it.
Even in the movie, the Tristan character was talking like, video games don't cause violence. He even mentions that in the film, if I remember correctly. I was a little sloshed when I watched it.
Yeah, he did explicitly say this is not caused by violent video games. And if you remember when he was talking with the counselor guy, he was saying, this guy didn't make time for me. He's the one who told me I would never amount to anything. And I think a lot of it has to do with the mentors and the people you have.
Like, this entire movie points out the flaws in our system that fail the most vulnerable among us. Like the fat kid, his backstory about his being pantsed in school, and every time anybody at school laughs, he figures that they're laughing at him at his expense for that one moment that happened several years ago. Yeah, and he clearly needed to get some sort of like mental help, but never got it. And then the Tristan kid just wanted to be famous, and for some reason, the internet fame is a new kind of fame now, and he wanted to be internet famous, but his means to an end was to kill people. And the movie did not hold back. I did not expect to see boobies in this movie, and there were fucking nice boobs in that movie.
Yeah, I was actually surprised about that too. I was like, wait a minute. Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Daily Wire. Like, they say fuck in it too. And since it wasn't released in movie theaters, it got a TVMA rating instead of a rated R rating. And so it's TVMA instead of R. But holy crap, like, I did not expect that. I'm like, oh, they're not gonna what? Jesus Christ.
I like this one right here that's it's right here on the right hand side. It feels fundamentally tasteless, indeed just plain wrong. But now, my question for that person is, what kind of movies do you watch? Are they like just foofy, fluffy stuff? Do you just watch Disney?
Best part about this is we can actually find out. Funny Boy, Crock of Gold, Inside the Red Brick Wall, The Last Hillbilly, Till Kingdom Come, Gem, whatever the fuck that is. Children. Yeah, no. Yeah. Is this top?
How is this guy a top critic? Jesus.
Yeah, it says top critic next to his name too. But then there's this one here. It's not for everyone, but this indie thriller delivers smart, arresting action. That's not a bad review. Gave it a 3 out of 4.
No, that's pretty good.
These people watched it in September.
Yeah, they probably got the pre-screener.
Yeah. It's hard to say what's more offensive, that Rankin is pissing into overflowing reservoirs of national pain, or that he's doing it so poorly. Just kidding. It's not hard at all. What the fuck?
Come on,
Seriously.
man.
Like sometimes you have to make movies about hard subjects. Like we make movies about historical events all the time. This isn't necessarily a historical event, but it's based on historical events, and
Yeah.
like we need to have the hard conversations. And this was a
I mean,
decent.
They didn't sit there and get pissed off about Inglorious Bastards, which was about the Jewish people joining the United States military to go back over to Germany and just slaughter the shit out of Nazi soldiers. I mean,
Well,
that
they also-
happened, and they did it brutally.
They also they also didn't complain about Schindler's List. That's
Yeah.
a movie based on reality as well.
Or how about things like I don't know, The Green Mile, where you've got all kinds of people being just abused and yeah, it's just awful. But it's a good movie.
What is it? American History X. That's
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That's a rough movie to watch. Like Edward Norton in that film was amazing, and that's just hard to watch because it's literally a skinhead, like actual Nazi, actual white supremacist, like learning and becoming a better person.
Yeah, that first part of that movie is just holy shit. That was difficult in that one. Oh my god.
Okay, we've been talking about this for like 13 minutes. We're gonna get I'm trying to come up with a good segue, but I'm trying to think of it. Let's go. Let's push this button for the very first time. The tinfoil hat segment. If only I had a tinfoil hat to go with it. But
oh man, my kitchen is just right around the corner.
I should have warned you then. Okay, I'll start with the one that I have then, the one I brought on. So, in 2017, so what is this? A Harvard professor has claimed in his new book that alien debris passed near Earth in 2017. It has attracted both skeptics and skepticism and intrigue. So this like long cigar-shaped object appeared, and they saw it from the Haleakala telescope in Hawaii, off of on Maui. And
it's I believe it's called Oumuamua, right?
Is the name of the object, yeah. Oumuamua.
Okay, yeah.
Is the name of the object. I wasn't even going to try to pronounce that. You know about this then, don't you?
Yeah, I saw this when it came out in 2017, and I like this kind of weird stuff.
Yeah. And so, like it says here, it was the first sign of intelligent life outside of Earth, according to Loeb, who is the professor. So apparently this is it might just be a piece of space garbage from an alien planet or alien society is what I'm seeing from a lot of the information on this. But
right.
But see, there was only one conceivable explanation. The object was a piece of advanced technology created by a distant alien civilization, according to HMH. And so then they talk about NASA mentions it here. So like they mention it by name in one of their documents. The first confirmed object from another star to visit our solar system. This interstellar interloper appears to be a rocky cigar-shaped object with somewhat reddish hue, NASA said in its description of the object. So it's not necessarily a spaceship, but it is a piece of debris from an alien civilization. And when they use the term alien, I don't think they're meaning like aliens as in like little green men or like actual physical living things. It's an alien civilization, which means it's different from ours. It's a different place. It's a different place in the solar system from our place in the solar system.
I mean, they could just be referring to it as an alien piece of alien space junk that maybe came from some solar system that maybe it has some life in it. It doesn't even have to be like something they made.
Exactly. So here's one. Fellow Harvard professor Eric Maskin, a Nobel laureate in economics, added, Is the hypothesis right? Who knows? But let's try to find out. So so essentially they're saying that they might be wrong, But let's find out if they're wrong.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. We could be wrong. Let's test it.
Exactly. Okay, well, let's move on from that.
Real quick, though, you know who they got to get on board for that?
Who?
They got to get my boy with that fancy shirt with all the pretty ladies on it who landed that spacecraft on the other rock.
The Mars rover guy that got in trouble for having like a waifu Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Speaking of Hawaiian shirts, do you have your shirt for the big luau coming up?
I do have one somewhere around here.
I can actually see mine over there. Nice. The one I have, I have to climb over things to get to, but it's a Hawaiian shirt that I bought at the Pearl Harbor exhibit in Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, and it's got like the what is it, SS Arizona or whatever is down there, whichever boat. It's got the memorial on it mixed in with like Hawaiian designs, and so that's my Hawaiian shirt.
Very cool.
That was a very sombering experience going to Pearl Harbor. That was one of the coolest things I think I've ever done.
That's a trip I'd like to do.
Yeah, I was my buddy Jeremy. We'll talk about him later after the show. I want to mention some things to you. But my buddy Jeremy brought me to Hawaii because he goes there every summer with his mom and his family, and he's told me this since the first day we met. He's like, if you ever want to go to Hawaii, all you gotta do is pay for the airfare, and we got you. I'm like, fuck yeah. And so I went like 2014, 2015, around there. I'm like, well, we're going to be in Hawaii. I want to go see Pearl Harbor. So I paid for the plane tickets to get over to that island, to get over to Waikiki. And then his mom bought us the tickets for Pearl Harbor, did this whole like island tour thing. It was awesome.
That's badass.
Okay, let's move on. We're running out of time. Okay, here we go. We'll go to this one. How to download the CIA's entire collection of UFO documents. This is an article you provided.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, this guy had been filing all of these Freedom of Information Act requests, and he got something like almost 3,000 pages of documents from the CIA in regards to UFO stuff. I spent way too long reading through about 1,500 pages of it, and
that's what you were telling me.
if you guys, there's a lot of internal memos and stuff saying, hey, send them to the Air Force, we don't know, and then it goes into some UFO reports, but it's mostly just, I don't know, I have no idea.
Is there a website that we can go to for this?
Yes, there is a website for it.
Is it listed in this article?
The Black Vault. They're supposed to, but they don't. But if you go to theblackvault.com, you can get to it.
All right. Well, I'll list that in the description once the show goes up on the YouTubes. We'll put that in the description so you can go find it for yourselves. And the truth is out there.
Woo.
I want to play the X-Files theme. We should have that ready. Oh God. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to go to from here? You want to go to UFO sightings, or do you want to go to the Central Oh, this is it right here, the blackvault.com. That's it
right there, blackvault.com.
You already had it listed, so yeah.
Yep. If you scroll through, you can see there's like 1 million PDF files, and you can download them all. There's a searchable version and a unsearchable version. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Some of the stuff you can't even read, but that's the CIA for you.
What do you mean you can't even read it? Like it's like blurred out or blacked out or something?
Some of it's bad copy. Some of it they whited it out. Some they blacked it out. You know,
that's dumb.
Typical government stuff.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into fall into the camp of fuck the government. Holy shit!
Welcome to the Libertarian Party.
Oh my God! I think I was talking to a buddy of mine. Like this is a tangent that I wanted to mention. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about the Democrats versus the Republicans. Donald Trump has essentially created a third party. Because Donald Trump wasn't a Republican. Like, there's plenty of people that aren't Republicans that voted for him. So Donald Trump essentially created the Donald Trump Party. he created his own wing, his own branch of the politics. It's going to be an interesting time post Trump. Like the Biden administration is gonna break a record for having the shortest run president in history. He's probably going to beat Henry Harrison because Henry Harrison was only president for 30 days. That was a joke.
Well, if things go the way that they've been talking about it, you know, Kamala Harris will be taken over because Joe Biden, they're going to find him unfit mentally, and then there you go.
Well, you mind if we skip ahead to something else that you posted?
Sure.
Let's skip over the other UFO thing, and we'll skip to this because this is a good segue to this specific thing.
Yes.
Okay, so let's play. I've not watched this video yet. We're gonna go ahead and play it.
Congresswoman, I understand though you have something pressing, something important, and something new you'd like to share with everybody.
Yes, I would like to announce on behalf of the American people, we have to make sure that our leaders are held accountable. We cannot have a president of the United States that is willing to abuse the power of the office of the presidency and be easily bought off by foreign governments, foreign Chinese energy companies, Ukrainian energy companies. So on January 21st, I will be filing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden.
Wow. Articles of impeachment on Joe Biden on his first full day as president. I'm looking at Hunter Biden right now, so we're talking about Joe. Obviously, we know Hunter's got issues as well. How is that going to work? I like how
deadpan she was when she recited that. But as I was watching, I'm like, oh, this is Newsmax. This isn't going to be good. Not. This isn't going to be good in a spicy way, but it's Newsmax. They're pro Trump.
Yeah.
They're not going to let somebody come on there and be like, oh, somebody abusing the office of the president. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But,
well, while it is pro-Trump, it is a good piece of news because we kind of need to know that these people are going to be doing this, regardless of whether or not you support Joe Biden or not, or Trump or not. It's good to know what's going to be happening soon.
Yes. Do we need to finish watching this, or is that all the information we need from it?
Not really. Not really. She's talking about the Hunter Biden stuff that we all know about and that kind of thing.
Burisma and all that bullshit.
Yeah, and the continuing investigation into the election, all that stuff.
This is getting scary. All of this, like they're going to introduce these articles of impeachment, but people are going to make it a laughing stock because it's ridiculous. Even though the articles of impeachment every time for Donald Trump have been fucking ridiculous as well. Just as ridiculous, if not more ridiculous than this, because there's actual evidence. First off, Joe Biden has that sexual assault allegation that nobody fucking talked about. Then we also have all of this impropriety with selling the office of the vice presidency to make money for his children and his family and himself. And then we have the there was the third option that I'm trying to remember now. I don't remember what the third one was going to be, but it was important. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The problem I have with this is if Joe Biden gets impeached, we get Kamala Harris as fucking president, and she is worse than fucking Joe Biden.
And you could say the same thing, really, when it came to Donald Trump. If they would have found him guilty and Mike Pence would have been in office, welcome to a theocracy. Like, he's super Christian.
Yep.
And that goes against the Constitution of the United States of America. You can't make laws based off of religion, and he would try to.
Well, but liberals do it all the time. Liberalism is a religion.
That's true.
Woke culture is a fucking religion. It's like it's a holier than thou kind of bullshit attitude. It's like, oh, I have the moral standing to be able to do this. No, you don't, because it's not constitutional.
Boom.
It's just like during the debates, Kamala Harris was talking about we're just going to take everybody's guns, and Joe Biden interjected and it was like no, you can't do that. It's not constitutional. She's like, Joe, instead of saying no, we can't, we should maybe say yes, we can. with her fucking
Jesus
stupid ass
Christ.
cackle. Oh my god.
You know, the one thing that you got to say about Joe Biden is he's kind of ballsy, especially that whole fire a double-barreled shotgun out of your front porch bullshit.
No, there was a point when the debates were going on where I told Nate, I told my twin brother, I'm like, if Joe Biden wins the Democrat nomination, I'll vote for him. I'd probably vote for him. But that was probably sometime last year. Like,
Right.
no, 2019, I think, is when I said that. And a lot has happened since then. Holy shit, a lot has happened since then. We had the one right-wing riot, and it's the end of the world. We have 9 months of like left-wing we have 9 months of left-wing riots, and oh my god, we have to respect their fucking rights and their privacy. Both are wrong. Everybody needs to have the book thrown out of them, full force of the law. They need to go to jail for the maximum amount of time. Fuck those people. They are morons, every single fucking one of them.
Absolutely. And really, when it comes down to it, if you didn't win your conflict, then you don't get to be safe from conviction.
Yep. But there's also a thing that I think I didn't put this in the notes, but there's a thing I wanted to talk about this. Apparently, they're putting through anybody that was there can be held liable for the death of that police officer. So, like, it's just kind of like if you're a getaway driver involved in the getaway of a like a robbery at like a 7-Eleven, and they murder the clerk at the 7-Eleven, you're still liable for that murder. And they're trying they're trying to get everybody that's there, not everybody that's there, but everybody that was in like the vicinity that could potentially be liable for that. But there's also some information that I heard on Thursday that the cop didn't die from the getting hit in the head by the fire extinguisher. He died from like a heart attack or something. And so it was like natural.
I'm surprised it wasn't COVID-19.
Yeah, that's the thing. No. There was also, speaking of COVID-19, there was a rural town somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but the chief medical officer in the area, in the county, came out and he's like, yeah, these 3 deaths that just happened, 2 of them were gunshots. They weren't COVID. They were COVID positive after the fact, but they were gunshots. They shouldn't have been marked down on the registry for COVID deaths.
Yeah, I'd seen something a while back that the CDC had to like pull back almost all of them, and there was only like 6% of their stuff that was legit. I don't know.
Okay, let's move on. Let's do this. Let's talk video games.
I love this subject.
This is something fun that I'm excited about. Bethesda posted this announcement teaser a couple days ago. Have you seen this yet?
I have.
That gives me such an awkward boner. Wait, no, it's not awkward.
It definitely makes me interested, but at the same time, produced by Todd Howard, so it'll just work.
So there's people talking about. I saw there's an article I have that I don't know this article here. It talks about it, but there wasn't a whole lot of information known about it. But based on this this ticket stub here, the game is going to be based in Rome.
Interesting.
And so the other thing is it's a standalone game that's in the franchise of Indiana Jones that happens during Indy's heyday. So it's going to be like him in his like 30s or whatever, like maybe we don't know exactly when in the timeline this happens. But I believe that this is the Indiana Jones franchise piece that Harrison Ford was under contract. He got a contract to do another Indiana Jones movie, to do Star Wars, whatever the first prequel movie is where he dies. Spoilers. he was contracted to do another Indiana Jones movie, but I think this is the Indiana Jones that we are going to get from that, which I am okay with.
You know, it allows him to go back to when Indiana Jones was total badass and not, you know, some decrepit old man. So I'm okay with it too.
I'm just really excited. It would be amazing if we could get a fourth Indiana Jones movie. Like the trilogy is perfect in like every way. The second movie, yeah. But a fourth movie would have been awesome. Maybe get like Shia LaBeouf in it. It'd be great.
Just do it.
But so this leads me on. This leads me on to another piece of really good information. EA no longer holds the exclusive rights to Star Wars. But the problem is this EA still has rights to do Star Wars titles, and so like
right.
But because of all of the backlash and all the like bad press and bad like games that have been coming out, they have I didn't even pull this up. They have they've tried to turn themselves around and not make shit anymore.
Right. Like I like Jedi Fallen Order. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order was amazing. I played through it twice. That game is awesome.
I love the fact that the beginning, that badass Mongolian band, the Coup, is now Star Wars canon, and that's sick.
Nice. So the interesting thing about Jedi Fallen Order is the lightsabers that you build in the game is the exact same configurations and lightsabers you can build at the Star Wars park at Disney.
That's the only reason why I kind of want to go now, because I love that Jedi Fallen Order one that you get as Cal Kestis. His lightsaber is fucking sweet.
Yes. Let's see. Apparently the last Battlefront game was bullshit from what this article was saying.
So the Battlefront 2, it started off kind of garbage, then it got better. It's actually right now it's booming because on the Epic Game Store it's free. But I refuse to download the Epic Game Store because fuck Fortnite.
I regret the one time I downloaded Fortnite on my Switch, and now it's in my Switch history.
Yeah, the other thing is I just don't want another fucking launcher.
What does that mean? I'm sorry, I don't know the term.
Another game launcher. Like I have Steam, I have Uplay, blah blah blah.
I literally only have Steam. That's the only one that I use is Steam. If I go into like Humble Bundle or whatever, and I go to buy something and it says like Uplay or like Epic, I'm like, nope, not buying this.
Yeah, oh god, it just drives me nuts.
I'll buy a physical copy for my Xbox One before I'll fucking make that purchase on my PC, because Valve has just been doing a great job with Steam and everything. Steam has been great.
Oh yeah.
I have a really low Steam ID or whatever, because I started like within the first like 4 or 5 years.
Oh sweet.
So yeah, there is that. Okay. Well, I think that's everything. Unless you want to talk about that UFO thing we skipped.
It's just ever since the whole lockdown thing started, apparently there's been a 50% increase in sightings of UFOs since people have been staying at home. Now, whether or not that's actually like seeing UFOs or they're just seeing Elon Musk's experiments, who knows?
Well, that's the interesting thing about the term UFO. It stands for unidentified flying object, but the term has been synonymous with flying saucers, i.e., what's on the screen here. But it's that's what like social engineering and like what people have been brought to know words meaning. So like you say, like what we were talking about earlier, you say the word alien, you think giant green men or little green men. I mean, little green men. But alien just means not of our civilization.
Correct. It means something that you're not entirely. It's not your specific niche. Like
yes.
For example, illegal aliens being people coming to the United States or other countries from another country that didn't do so properly.
There was one time when I was in high school. I was hanging out with my dad. We were driving to to see his buddy Matt in Canby, and we drove past like a field where they were like picking berries or something. And there was a school bus there. And outside the school bus was a bunch of a bunch of easy up like tents or whatever, and like an outhouse. And there was a bunch of like Hispanics milling around, like having lunch or whatever. And I said, "Hey, look, Dad, it's a spaceship full of aliens." Hold on.
Nice.
I knew I had that button for a reason. In poor taste.
Yeah, so I think that this is likely just people seeing the Starlink satellites and stuff going across the sky. I know a guy that he saw those and he just started freaking out, but he's also kind of tinfoil hat.
Oh, hold on. We gotta do this again. The tinfoil hat segment. I need to not be in charge of things ever.
I like it.
This has been a blast. I hope to be able to bring you back on at a later time. Maybe we can do a three-way. Wait,
ooh,
no.
menage a trois.
You, me, and Scott. Sometime we can have the three of us on. I'll ask him about that after. But do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
Well, just one thing. Pay attention to your Constitution, not your politicians.
Perfect. Do you have like a Gab or a Parler or a Twitter that people can follow you on, or even a Twitch channel?
Absolutely not.
Okay, perfect. I get to say the thing that Scott always says. Go ahead and hit that thumbs down button twice. Hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with your friends, send this to Facebook, YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitter, like Gab or wherever the fuck you want to send it. Go ahead and I've been using the Seriously Cast Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SeriouslyCast. Links are in the description. This has been great. Be sure to twirl your Tweety, and we'll see you next time.